We defended their actions really well, and we couldn't sustain it the way I would like. They go on a very big run in the first half and cut it to 5 at halftime. But I know that they're capable of doing that. I've played against this team enough times when I was at Tulsa in Conference USA, and it's just a matter of time before Dabney and Hook and Stark and those guys got going. And then you bring in Mack off the bench and Reynolds. They've got some firepower. And, our whole mindset was just to try to stay in front and make them work hard. And then Dry is a workhorse down there, and, they're a tough opponent.
Three field goals in the second half. Is that about as solid a defensive effort as you can hope to see in a half?
No, because they scored 16 from the free throw line. We have to do a better job of playing defense with our head on our feet and keeping our hands out. We got too many fouls right in here. And if we do a better job of keeping them off the free throw line, then we can talk about that. But right now, we can build on this. But I thought defensively overall, our effort was pretty good.
You said you wanted a road trip before the ACC schedule started. This is a pretty good way to start that road trip for you.
It is, but this is a short-lived victory. We play Arkansas, so they're coming up, and that's no disrespect to Tulane, but this game is over with. We're happy that we won, and now we have to prepare for our next game.
How hard is it to get ready? That's in 2 days, right?
It'll be tough. It'll be tough, but it's no different than playing in a tournament of some sort. You have sometimes you don't even get a day of prep time. So we've got a day where we have to recover. We have to prep for Arkansas, and then we got to get recharged because it's a different type of ball game, especially when you go there and the style of play that they have.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Lou, the run you guys made at the end of the first half, what went right there, and why were you guys not able to find that again in the second half?
The run in the first half, I think we just found ourselves and stopped playing in our shell, and we just let it all go. And we played the right way and the way we can play. And second half, we just wasn't focused, and we kind of let the refs get in our head, and we just wasn't focused mentally, and that got the best of us tonight.
Does that account for 1 for 20 shooting threes tonight? Does that account for some of that, or was it jitters? How do you explain the poor shooting? You guys typically don't shoot that.
I think it's just all mentally because, as everyone else knows, we're a great three-point shooting team, and nights like this won't happen too often. So I just think it was a mental thing, and we were just, like you said, had a little jitters, and wasn't playing our brand of basketball.
Does it start to kind of roll on itself at a certain point when it's miss after miss, that guys aren't taking open shots and things like that kind of makes the a little bit worse?
I wouldn't say that. It was just one of those nights. We just couldn't make a three, but we wasn't telling each other, oh no, don't take that shot. If it's open, take it. And just tonight wasn't one of those nights.
How intense was their half-court defense? It looked like they were sticking up pretty well.
Hats goes out to Wake Forest. The defense was great, but it wasn't what people thought it was to make us be pressured like that. We just wasn't mentally focused.
Rebounding was a problem tonight. What do you see with the main causes?
Just like I said, going back to being mentally focused for this game, we know what we have to do, and we just came out and played lackadaisy. And for that little spurt we had for like 10 minutes, we started hitting the ball and we showed them that and showed everybody that we can rebound. I just think it's just a mental thing with us, and as the season goes on, we'll get it together.
Trey, they had 10 offensive rebounds, I think, in the first 13 minutes of the game. From about 1 point on, you have them to 4 for the rest of it. What was different that you guys did to kind of hold them off on the offensive glass?
Our defensive rotation kind of helped that out. Everyone making sure that not only their man, but other men around the goal doesn't get the rebound. Just a team effort rebounding.
How tough were they on the inside tonight? Was it just a size issue, or were they crashing the boards more than typical?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, it's just we just got to be relentless. That's all I can say.
And Lou, how do you make sure that this result doesn't affect you for the team, not you for the team for the next time you play a team like that?
It just starts tomorrow in practice. Tomorrow in practice, we have to come with a whole new mindset. We need to learn from this game, watch the film, and know that our rebounding wasn't good tonight. And come into practice tomorrow, and like he said, and just be relentless and just grow on it.
How much did the first half they won that big run? How much of that was was coming out opening night? You guys hadn't really had played together as a full team at this point. How much do you think that affected you as versus just not clicking?
I think, like I said before, it was just a mental thing. We knew what we had to do, and we knew the game plan, and we just came out and we didn't execute. It was nothing to do with the coaching or nothing like that. It was just the players, and we just didn't execute. And the next game, y'all will see better than that.
I thought they played consistent in more phases of the game than we did. And even though the game was a little bit ugly at times and both teams were struggling offensively in stretches, I thought they found more ways to score, whether it was off rebounds, where they really hurt us on the boards, and then and just having the will and the toughness to stay within their offense, whereas I thought we got out of ours a little bit, and perhaps we played too many guys, in different combinations, but we have to be better and tougher than that.
The shooting, how do you explain 1 to 20 shooting? You guys typically are so good from the perimeter. Was it just people not getting in rhythm? How do you explain that?
I think first, hopefully, you control more of that than the other team, and for whatever reason, we weren't in rhythm. It's hard to explain. I thought some good shooters had some really good looks, and but they just looked a little bit off balance even when they were open. As far as taking those, maybe a little rushed, opening night, those kind of things. But at the same time, I thought both teams tried to play really hard on the defensive end. And so maybe, us early on, we held them, I think, to 36% shooting, and they held us to, 40 in the first half. Obviously, they got to our three-point shooters throughout the entire game. I think if we get our offensive timing down a little bit better, we get the right combinations out there, and I know our guys will settle down because they can shoot the basketball.
Huge run at the end of the first half, and you couldn't sustain it in the second half.
Yeah.
How disappointing was that?
Extremely disappointed in the first 5 minutes of the second half. I thought the group that came in finally started playing the way we'd like to play, applying the ball pressure, really moving their feet, talking, making all the hustle plays. We talked about it at halftime, and that group that went out there to start the second half, I didn't think played nearly as hard as we need to play. So that was really, really disappointing that we didn't take that lesson to heart. If we're going to play a lot of guys, we have to all play consistent in the same manner.
How much of that not being an offensive room, you think, kind of came from not having your combinations down?
Well, part of it is playing some guys, but then at the same time, foul trouble on our bigs early on. That really started to scramble us right from the start. And the way that number 2 was playing, he was putting guys on the bench pretty rapidly, and we moved Trey to the 5 for a while. So that, more than just trying to play a lot of guys, probably affected our rotations more than anything. And that's something that the mental toughness part of the game and understanding how to play the game, obviously we need to grow in that area.
Was there a point?
Mike, you get water.
Was there a point where you kind of felt that it started, the shooting sort of got contagious, that bad shots started leading to bad shots and those kinds of things, or was it really just a matter of guys not clicking?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. I think certainly, and again, you have to be mentally tougher than this, but J. Hook's shot goes, the early one, if that goes in and out, if that goes in, does that ignite him the rest of the night? Who knows? Then I thought there was certainly some guys that took some first side threes that were probably ill-advised. And then when they missed those, not only did you not move the other team on the offensive end, you took a quick three, doesn't go, you start to feel like, woe is me, we can't score. And it's really not the case. We need to move the basketball.
Rebounding, is that just a matter of size and what Wake Forest had as far as their bodies in the front court versus yours, or is it a matter of intensity as well?
Our guards got to get physically tougher. All across the board, we weren't as physical as we need to be, but several times there was penetration or something happened and a guard V'ing back on the backside did not make the play he was supposed to make. And we've got the guys to do it. I mean, the Lou Dabney's, the Kayjon Max, the Cameron Reynolds, Josh Hurley, those guys can make that play. We have to make that play.